When we think of the distant past, our minds usually drift directly to the sands of Egypt. The Great Pyramids of Giza stand as the ultimate symbol of ancient human achievement. They were built roughly 4,500 years ago. To us, that feels like the absolute beginning of human civilization. But here's a secret that history textbooks often glaze over. The pyramids are actually latecomers to the monumental party. Long before the first stone was cut in Egypt, people across the globe were already moving mountains. They were building massive, complex structures that completely defy our understanding of primitive man. Today, we're going to travel backward in time, past the pharaohs, to the mysterious monuments built before the pyramids. Our first stop isn't the Middle East, but the high altitudes of the Peruvian Andes. High in the Cajamarca Valley sits a site known as the Callacpuma Stone Plaza. In early 2024, archaeologists published findings that totally shattered the local timeline. They unearthed a massive circular plaza made of vertically placed megalithic stones. Radiocarbon dating placed its construction at around 2750 BCE. That is more than a century before the Great Pyramid of Khufu was even a blueprint. What makes Callacpuma so mind-bending is the identity of the people who built it. These weren't established city-dwelling farmers with complex tools. They were people just beginning to experiment with growing crops, still heavily reliant on hunting and gathering. Yet they dragged massive freestanding boulders to create an 18-meter-wide ceremonial circle. It stands as one of the earliest examples of monumental architecture in the entire Western Hemisphere. Why did they build it? Likely for social integration and ceremonial feasts, binding nomadic groups together in a harsh landscape. From the heights of the Andes, we cross the ocean to the rolling green plains of England. Here stands the most famous prehistoric monument in the world, Stonehenge. But the Stonehenge you picture today, with its massive standing stones and lintels, is only half the story. The site itself is much, much older than the rocks. Around 3100 BCE, 500 years before the Egyptian pyramids, ancient Britons dug a massive circular ditch. They piled the white chalk into a towering bank, creating an enormous earthwork enclosure. Inside, they placed timber posts, using the site as a sprawling cremation cemetery for centuries. It wasn't until 2500 BCE that the iconic stones were finally dragged into place. Some of those stones, known as blue stones, were hauled from the Preseli Hills in Wales. That is a staggering journey of over 150 miles. Imagine moving 2-ton rocks across treacherous terrain without wheels, roads, or metal tools. It was an intergenerational obsession that consumed entire communities. Yet, as ancient as Stonehenge is, an even older masterpiece sits just across the Irish Sea. Welcome to the Boyne Valley in Ireland. Looming over the emerald landscape is Newgrange. Built around 3200 BCE, this massive passage tomb predates Stonehenge and crushes the pyramids by 6 centuries. At first glance, it looks like a giant grass-covered flying saucer made of pale stone. It spans 85 meters in diameter and is ringed with elaborately carved curbstones. The most famous is the entrance stone, adorned with deeply hypnotic tri-spiral motifs. But the true genius of Newgrange isn't found on the outside. It is found in the dark. If you walk down its 19-meter-long inner passage, you reach a cross-shaped chamber. For 364 days a year, this chamber is pitch black. But the Neolithic farmers who built it were master astronomers. Above the entrance, they constructed a brilliant architectural feature known as the roof box. At dawn on the winter solstice, the absolute shortest day of the year, a beam of sunlight pierces the roof box. The light creeps slowly down the narrow stone tunnel, Eventually, it dramatically illuminates the deepest burial chamber in a brilliant golden glow. This perfect alignment required astonishing mathematical precision from Stone Age people. A single degree of error and the light would never reach the back wall. To these ancient people, it likely symbolized the rebirth of the sun and the triumph of life over death. Newgrange proves that Stone Age humans were sophisticated engineers and obsessive skywatchers. But if we want to find the true grandfather of all monuments, we must travel to southeastern Turkey. Prepare to have your understanding of human history completely rewritten. This is Göbekli Tepe. It wasn't built 3,000 years before Christ. It was built 9,000 years before Christ. That makes it over 11,000 years old. To put that in perspective, Göbekli Tepe is older to the builders of the pyramids than the pyramids are to us today. It's an unfathomable abyss of time. Discovered in the 1990s, the site consists of massive T-shaped limestone pillars. Some weigh up to 20 tons and stand over 18 feet tall. They're arranged in striking circular patterns across the hillside. But the pillars aren't blank stone blocks. They're intricately carved with terrifying hyper-stylized animals. Scorpions, foxes, vultures, and boars leap from the stone in three-dimensional relief. And remember, this was built during the last ice age. These builders were strict hunter-gatherers wearing animal skins. They had no agriculture, no writing, no pottery, and absolutely no metal tools. According to everything we thought we knew, they shouldn't have been able to organize the labor required for this. For decades, historians believed that humans had to invent farming first in order to settle down. Once settled, they could then build cities and temples. Göbekli Tepe suggests the exact opposite happened. The primal urge to worship, to gather, and to build monumental art may have come first. The temple may have actually created the city, not the other way around. And the craziest part of all, ground-penetrating radar shows that we've only excavated about 5% of Göbekli Tepe. Massive stone complexes remain buried deep underground right now. In 2025, new excavations at the nearby sister site of Karahantepe uncovered even more shocking artifacts. They found a monumental human statue mounted directly onto a wall, depicting an intense, three-dimensional face. We are literally looking at the very dawn of human symbolic expression. The story of our past is clearly not a simple straight line from cavemen to the pyramids. It's a vast, complex tapestry of lost technologies and forgotten geniuses. Before the pharaohs even dreamed of eternity, humans were already leaving permanent scars on the earth. They looked at the stars, carved the stone, and dared to build something that would outlast them. These ancient architects didn't just build walls, they built the very foundation of human culture itself. The next time you look at a modern skyscraper, remember the people of Callacpuma, Newgrange, and Göbekli Tepe, because the drive to reach for the heavens is the oldest human instinct of all.